Because if you're small and someone says to you, who are you? What are you like? And we say, well, we are small, but see this model? This is who we follow. This is why we're doing this. And then they see the model and they say, oh, okay, this is what you're shooting for. Because you can't really show that when you don't have it yet.
Welcome to Classical Etc., coming to you from the Memoria National Conference.
Welcome to another episode of Classical Etc. I'm Tanya Charlton, and I'm here today at our Memoria National Conference with Mary Ann Vernace, who is the co-founder of Highlands Latin School, Orlando. How are you?
Very good. It's
Good.
wonderful to be here.
Well, I'm happy that you are here. When I interviewed Marie, we were talking about the fact that you always show up a day early and come straight from the airport because you're so excited to be here. And that's the kind of enthusiasm we like. So I have to start, as I always do, with asking you what you're reading.
So I'm reading East of Eden.
Okay, you were reading East of Eden when I was in Orlando in May.
I started it last Advent, and I thought, I can't read this book during Advent. So I put it down, and I told my husband about it. By that time, I was a third of the way through, and I thought it was a great book, but I said, I can't read this right now.
Right.
And
it is dark.
He picked it up.
Oh.
And he read it.
Did he?
So I thought, now I need to finish it so we could discuss it.
Yes. There is so much to discuss. And when you finish it, I want to discuss it as well. So when I come to visit your school in October, we need to go eat so I can talk to Bart and you about this.
I'd love to do that. Over the patio, pool area.
Oh, in your absolutely even better.
Okay.
Yes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Highlands Latin School, Orlando?
Okay. So the campus is beautiful. It's a big campus. The campus was purchased in 2022 by a family who their children go to our school. And the idea of community is really clear because families know that this family purchased the property and
to be a school.
To be a school.
Oh, how nice.
And the husband brought us on the property the year before and said, what do you think about this? And we said, it's spectacular, but we can never afford the rent.
Right.
And he said, well, don't worry about the rent. Just do you like it? And Marie and I looked at him and said, we love it. Anyhow, it's 14 classrooms, a beautiful gym.
Oh my goodness.
Art room, music room. It's beautiful inside.
Is it big enough for growth?
It's big enough. I think we could fit about 202 students. That's where we'll max out.
Okay. And you got about 130?
Approaching that.
Which is very nice after 2 years, just being, a Highlands Latin School for 2 years.
Yeah. This is we're going to our fourth year at this location.
Your fourth.
Yeah, I think he purchased it in 21, 22. Yeah.
I thought you said, 20.
We're doing 25, 26 school year. I think we're going to our fourth year there.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyhow, so it does, it's impressive. And we've learned a lot about this location to beautify it as best we can.
Oh, nice. Because that's part of classical education, right? Why did you particularly want to start a Highlands Latin School?
So, we use Memoria Press. We used to come to FPA conference. We use Memoria Press for our own children, Marie and I. And we were approached at one of the FPA conferences and asked if we'd like to join.
Approached by whom?
Yours truly. And the question kind of stuck because at the time we knew we were in transition, but we didn't quite know what we should do. And the timing couldn't have been better. And when they say, ask the question, you ask the question. And so that made all the difference because we were already moving in that direction. And changing the name and taking Memoria Press on board 100% of Memoria Press and all of Highlands Latin School, what it stands for, was perfect for us. The timing was just perfect.
It was perfect because I had worked with you, in your other efforts at cottage schools, co-op type situations. And I already knew that you were perfect.
So you did know
it. School owners. I did. It was a partnership even before that. So why did you choose Orlando specifically as a location for your school?
Okay. So besides, living there, we do live there. There are some other classical schools that were called classical schools, but they weren't quite a full classical school as we now know a classical school should be.
Right.
So Latin was not taught from the second grade through a student's entire career. That wasn't the case. These schools had electives. You don't have electives.
We don't.
They had some programs, cottage programs had pieces of a classical program, but no one quite had a full classical school.
And that's what you were looking for.
And that's what we're looking for. Because when we used it for our children and the material we used afterward for other students, we realized it really is the proper way to handle it. And unless you have the whole package, it's not the same.
Right. I was always impressed that you've raised your children, but you still are starting a school is not easy, but you still had the passion to educate children and to educate them classically,
Right.
even though most schools start because people want that for their children.
Right.
You homeschooled.
Right. So we did the best we could.
Right.
There was no classical school.
But now you're actually trying to reach children who
Right.
aren't your children.
Right.
You're
They're like
doing-
ours. They are like
They are like yours now. Yes, but your vision extended beyond the education of your own children. Like you thought this was an important thing that
Right.
we continue to educate children, which is exactly what Cheryl Lowe did.
Right. I'm sure. I mean, Cheryl saw the benefit in those children when they became adults. And so when
Yes.
you see that and you love it, what else is there to do?
Well, that's right. We have to do the work, don't we?
Right. Right.
So we'll probably never get to retire. So what was your, you may have already answered this question about why specifically a Highlands trademark school. Obviously you were influenced by Cheryl,
Right.
as I was. Was there more
So-
to it than that?
Definitely. We thought would be wise to align ourselves with a school that had impeccable reputation. That I don't know how many years is Highlands Latin Louisville, and
It's been about 25 years.
so
But that was just a little living room school at
Right.
the beginning.
right. But because we're a growing school, we're very young, and we're thinking to align ourselves with a established school with impeccable reputation, with a curriculum that's outstanding. We knew you, we knew the administrators, we knew the integrity of the owners, and we thought,
Right.
what else? Why not associate? Like, because if you're small and someone says to you, you know, who are you? What do you like? And we say, well, we are small, but see this model? This is who we follow. This is why we're doing this. And then they see the model and they say, oh, okay, this is what you're shooting for. Because you can't really show that when you don't have it yet.
That's right.
So you have to point to something, you know, they have it.
Like we're doing this.
Right.
This is
So
what
this
we're
is our
doing. This is
model.
where we're headed.
Right.
And this is where we're headed with your children.
Right.
So the school year is close to starting. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe it. We're halfway through the summer. Do you have a particular goal in mind for this year? Like one common goal that you would like to see happen between you and Marie?
What's going to happen this year is that because we started all the forms in Latin,
Yes.
our students now, we've got the first form, second form, third form, fourth form, Henley. So this is the first year that we start Greek alphabet. And so to us, that's kind of a goal.
It is.
We're
It's huge.
waiting for that to happen.
I did a workshop this morning and I said to all of the administrators in there, don't think about starting Greek until you have solidified your Latin program.
So it is.
And so now you feel
is.
your Latin program is solidified and it's time to add Greek.
It is. And the teachers have had quite a few, at least 2 years under their belt of teaching each of the forms, so they're confident. Some have moved up to the next level. And we used to think, when is that going to happen?
Right.
So it's happened.
It did happen.
Yeah.
And the other thing that is happening for you is because you've been through the forms and been through Henley, your students are going to be translating.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the next thing to
That's
see.
huge too. And I'm going to come see it in October. Do you feel like Memoria Press in particular has helped your school flourish? You already knew the curriculum, so
Right.
you knew what you were getting.
Right.
Because you had used it, but it has grown and changed
Right.
a lot since you
Well-
since your children were in school when we just didn't really have all
Right.
of this together.
I can't help but our teachers use the material and they say to us, we never had this for our own education. So when a teacher steps into a classroom and they have more press material, they're totally excited about it. So they're learning what they didn't learn
Right.
themselves. And so they're flourishing because they see something that's valuable. Some of our teachers have their children in our program. So there's an added benefit of families who they own it.
Right.
And they see the benefit in their children. And I would say the children flourish because they're, they're reading material that's worthy of their time and energy. We see virtue. We see that they work very hard because it's a rigorous program.
Right.
But when you work hard, that's virtue.
Yes.
And when you see them happy, that's virtue. But it's also proof that it's working and it's okay.
Yes.
It's worth it.
That's right.
The sacrifice is worth it.
It is. It is. I totally agree with you. Do you have a piece of advice that you would like to share with somebody that is maybe a struggling head of school or administrator, or somebody that thinks they might want to start a school but is intimidated by, as you said, it is not an easy task, or even feels not, as you said, we are in a generation of people who have not had Latin. We have not had classical. We don't have a classical education. So who are we to say, I'm going to educate children classically when I'm not educated classically?
So the education part of it is neither one of Maria and I didn't have Latin in our own schooling.
Right.
So we started with Prima Latina, Latina Christiana. So we practiced it, we studied it, we taught it.
Yes.
So that part of it, you have to do it yourself. The other part of it is because it's a business, it's a school, you're running a school.
Yes.
A lot of the jobs that have to be done, we have to do the first time. And so we look for people to do those things that, all those aspects of running a school, you have to find people who will take those
on and help you.
Right. So you practice it the first time, second time, but then so you have to be patient knowing that you are going to pass those jobs on to someone else. You're not going to do it all, even though you are doing a lot of it in the beginning.
That reminds me, before you became a Highlands Latin School, the first time I came to visit, and you all were teaching everything.
Yeah, that's right. And running the school.
Yes, and running the school. But you really have been in all the different aged classrooms. You have the experience. So now you know what you're asking your teachers to do.
Right.
So that is
It's really
huge.
helpful.
It is helpful.
And it also feels good for someone who's struggling to say, don't worry, someone's going to take that on someday.
Yeah.
But you just have to stick with it until you find that person.
But it is coming. Help is coming.
Help is coming.
But you do have
patience.
you have to have patience, but you also have to, just keep your eyes open, because a lot of times that person's right in front of you.
Right.
Final question. How has you come to this conference every year, and you've seen it from the time it was small until now when we barely fit here in the gym.
Right.
Why do you come back every year? What is this conference doing for you?
When I see our teachers look up, and then after each talk, they look at us and they're just totally excited. Or we're just coming on the property with them. You come on the property with new teachers every year, and teachers who have been with us every year. And every teacher, even the teachers who were with us the last 2 years, came up to Maria and I and said, this is an amazing conference. I learned things this year that I didn't know. Right? It's all new again. One said it's all new again, in a good way.
Right.
And plus, if you're trying to cast a vision, you have to cast a vision with a model. Was it Tracy Lee Simmons talked about, we all talked about imitating. So you have to imitate a model, but if you need the model. And so this is the model here in Louisville. And so we need to imitate it.
And when you come out of here, do you feel refreshed, rejuvenated, like we can do this another year?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And even the new teacher sitting next to me at lunch says, I'm nervous.
Oh.
He said, but I think this is going to be a really good year.
Oh, I hope so.
And I said, it is. I said, look, you have 3 tables of us here. And
Yeah.
I said, it's been, you'll have all this collaboration from people who started where you started.
Yes.
I said, so we've been coming every year, but then you'll have someone sitting next to you next year, and you'll say, I did the year, I finished it.
Oh, yes. It's amazing the difference, isn't it? After you've taught for a year, when you've got that first year under your belt. But it is an intimidating first. I was scared to death the first time I walked into a classroom.
Right. And he's walking into these classes with other people, which is good. He's training with other teachers who are new. And he has his last 2 days of feeling like they're doing it, I'm doing it.
That's right.
We're doing it together.
That's right. And the fact that he can go into a 3rd grade classroom and sit there with a group of other teachers from across the country who are doing what he's learning how to do, who are also learning how to do it, makes him know that he is not alone.
Right.
This isn't teaching is isolating. You are by yourself in a classroom with students all day long.
Day by day.
And so for me, I just love to see everybody coming together, getting to know each other, and really supporting each other and going away knowing I can do this because all of these other people are doing this. And then next year we're going to come back and we're going to be second year teachers sitting in that classroom.
It's true.
And we're going to know a lot more than we do now.
It's so true.
It's hard to,
It's
hard,
exciting.
though.
I can't imagine starting the school year without coming here. Like, who'd ever want to start the year without getting this
I do
forceful,
not.
charge?
I don't think we could do this conference without you two here.
I love it.
I love it too. And I want to thank you for being here every year and for especially for sitting down with me on this podcast.
We're thrilled. We're
So,
extremely grateful. More than you can imagine.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
I'll
We
see
are
you in
grateful as
October.
well. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for joining us today on Classical Etc. by Memoria Press. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, or share this episode or comment. We love to hear your questions and your comments. If you want to learn more about Memoria Press, please go to memoriapress.com. This has been Classical Etc. We're so glad you joined us, and we'll see you next time.